was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. My bad, I don't know what that was. What's good, everybody?
I was like, you're muted.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. Got some feedback coming through.
You can still hear it?
Yeah, it's coming from me. Hold on. Let me just see.
What's up, everybody?
Let's try that. Still there. Try something else. Testing. Yeah, still here.
You want to go out and come back?
No, it's all good. Just I'll mute when you're not talking.
Okay. I mean, I'll.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'll mute.
Yeah, I say hit mute. All right, sorry about that. It's always, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you get a little technical out here. But yeah, let's say what's going on. Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Well, she said what's up. She said what's up, man. Shout out to y'all for joining us as well, man. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button. Also, for my YouTube folks out there, man, hit that subscribe, man. Hit that subscribe. And folks be stingy out here with these likes and these subscribes, man. Hit that subscribe for all my YouTube folks out there as well. You know what I'm saying? That's how
Don't
we
forget
go.
to hype the video.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Don't forget to hype the video, y'all. Something about that like button. Y'all don't like that like button, but that's okay. If you can hype the video, we appreciate it.
Yeah. For my YouTube folks out there, let's say y'all got the hype option now. So let's hype up the video, man. Let's say we're trying to grow the platform, trying to get to 5K. So definitely, let's say support what we do, man. Liking, sharing, and subscribing, the notifications, and that hype button, man. Let's say that's how we get there. All right, let me do this real quick as we get into this conversation. I got to get back in my flow, man. It threw me off. All right, man, here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. You come with the Apple device, come on with the Apple device, man. Join us on the panel, man. Don't be scared, man. Yeah, I think sometimes folks be scared to get up on here, man, like something going to happen to them, man. Come on here and stand 10 toes down on your perspective. Bring it to the conversation. Like I said, this is not an echo chamber. We definitely have times when we disagreeing on this platform, and that is a fact. So definitely, let's say, use that link. Join us on the panel, man. Don't be scared. In addition to the video feed here, we also have this link in the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook, and you can get the link there as well. All right. So I'm going to lead us up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. Let me see who we got checking in tonight. Shout out to my guy Donovan in the building. He said, what up, though? What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, holding us down. Let's see the real one in the building. Hello, everyone. What's going on, the real one? Appreciate you as well, holding us down every Wednesday night. See Kenyatta say happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? Appreciate you checking in. She said we missed everyone last week. Yeah, man. We get dealt with when we miss a day around here, man. But we back again, man. We back again, ready to get to it. So that's what we gonna do. All right, so we'll drop this link down for a minute as we get into this conversation. So let me drop this topic, and we're gonna get right to it. We ain't gonna hold it up tonight. Let me drop this topic for the night. Topic for tonight, Black people are not marriage material. Make you wonder. Topic for tonight, Black people are not marriage material. Okay, well, we're going to see what it do. Like I said, once again, if you're watching right now, make sure you smash that like button for us. Please smash that like button. All right, cool. We just lost Vince. I'll see if he pop back up.
He'll be back.
Okay, well, we're going to get right to it.
Woman chooses not to take her husband's last name. When a woman chooses not to take her husband's last name, what message is she intending to send? And is that the same message her husband is likely to receive?
She asked, like, how does that come across to a man? It symbolizes a lack of trust. The same way that before we get married and I ask you to sign that prenup, and you look at me like, wow, really? The same way you get pregnant and I ask you to take a DNA test before you had your baby and we married, right? You see, look at the gasping. I can't believe you would ask me that. That's what that implies. That implies that you don't trust me. That implies that you're not as invested in this as I am. And that's what I'm saying. If something as simple as a last name is that firm of something to stand on, that's crazy to me.
I've heard a lot of situations where women do not take their husband's last name, and it's generally a woman that has done so much work that her last name has earned, i.e. women who are female doctors, female lawyers, the ones who's like, I went to medical school, I went to law school, this is Dr. such and such, whatever maiden name is. Now, I personally am a fan of the hyphen. I think that when I get married, I am hyphening because the legacy that comes with my last name, to me, is going to be just as important as the family that I marry into. The bloodline that I came from is legendary. We're not just going to erase minds because of tradition and what it says you're supposed to do 100 years ago.
If we gonna hyphenate the last name, let's hyphenate the bills.
Right.
Let's hyphenate the responsibilities.
Let's hyphenate the soft life.
We got to be all the way honest about this. I think that a lot of women's husbands are just boxes on their list to check off.
Yes, sir.
And what I mean by this is that if you really respect your man, that's something that ain't even negotiable.
The tricky part of that we witness with so many women in marriage lose their entire identity to having a husband. While we can say that, oh, it's just a trophy for you to have on, and it starts as you got to take my last name, and then you move into my house, and then you're doing holidays with my family, and then I'm planning all of the vacations, and then you become an extension of my identity and my legacy, and you have my children, and you essentially live in my shadow. At what point does a woman's existence matter to the point where I'm still me? There are a lot of men who don't want their wives to walk in the room and say her first name. They want women to walk in the room and say, this is such and such wife.
She making too much sense. Let them have it. She making too much sense.
But I know that when I walk in the room, walk in the room with my future husband, they're going to be able to say, this is Kara J, such and such wife. I'm not just going to be such and such wife. I'm going to always have my own name. Correct. I'm going to always have my own identity.
Man. Hold on, man. Let me. I gotta.
Oh my God!
Oh man, this how we gonna start this out, man. This thing's still circulating. All right, man. So we talking black people are not marriage material. Let me switch this up a little bit. Yeah, let me get Vince up top. All right, cool. So yeah, y'all saw video number 1, man. So yeah, this one is circulated. This one definitely is circulated. Let me get this comment, then we're gonna come right back to it. Let's see, Donovan said there is no identity loss. Yeah, no, at least I didn't think so. See, Kenyatta said, let's see, I took that Monday off from work to change that name and we'll do it again. Straight like that. Okay, so yeah, y'all saw video number 1, man. Drop a comment, let me know what y'all think. So I'm coming to the panel, man. Coco, Vince, I see you off early, man. Go ahead, man.
I don't know how many people watching, but I would like to know from the ladies, what does it mean that you lose yourself in your husband? I really would like to know an explanation of that. What do you mean by lose yourself in your husband? For any ladies on the panel, Chloe, or any ladies that's listening,
I'm confused.
I really would like to know what that means.
I'm confused too. I don't know what that means. You're still a person. You still have all your gifts and can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. You can't hear Vince?
I can hear you, but I can't hear her.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Audience, let me know. Can you guys hear me, or is it isolated issue?
I'll go out and come back in.
Okay, yeah, drop real quick. Come right back in, Vince. Y'all drop a comment. Let me know if y'all can hear Coco. Drop a comment. Let me know if y'all can hear Coco.
Let me know, guys. You can hear me? Okay.
Vince did. I think Vince just shook his head. I couldn't tell if he heard you or not. Anybody? I can hear all you guys. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So it's just got some echo behind it, but we can hear you though. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to know the answer to that too. I'm not really sure where that comes from, because you're still a person. You still have your same, everything you brought to the marriage. You still have your same gifts and talents. Whatever you were doing before the marriage, you bring all of that with you, right? It's supposed to be the two of you coming together. It's a coming together. You leave to cleave, right? Like, yeah, ladies, the truth is when two become one, you do take on his last name as a sign of you joining to be a part of his family. And now you guys build a legacy together. It's no longer about his legacy separate of you, and it's no longer about your legacy separate of him. It's not you, me, and him. It's us. It's ours. It's we. You're supposed to kind of drop all of the I, me, and it's supposed to become a we mindset. So I don't understand why we're saying I don't want my what about my legacy? Your legacies are tied. They're supposed to be together now. Like whereas you were going down this path, this journey of life alone, now you're a couple now. You're with a person. This is your covenant partner. So your legacies are tied. Your souls are tied. Like that's the way that it's supposed to be. That's why you take on his last name. That's the reason why you do that. It's kind of it's symbolic, right? In the fact that you fall up under him. Now you still have your bloodline. You're still tied to your bloodline. That's still very much true. But you're building a legacy with him now. And it used to be a badge of honor for a man to want to bring you in and you be a part of his legacy because now he's putting his name on you. So whatever you do, good, bad, or indifferent, is now he's responsible for it, right? So it used to be a honor. It used to be a badge of, a badge of honor. I don't understand now why we're looking at it like you lose something. I think that's the mindset, and I think that's what's going to keep a lot of women stuck. Whenever you are looking at marriage as in I'm losing something or I'm having to give up a part of myself, instead of going into it looking at it like all of the things that you gain from attaching yourself to the right person. But then again, maybe it's because you guys know you're not attaching yourselves to the right people. So maybe that's why you're hesitant to take on a last name, because you're thinking if I take on his last name and this when this blows up in my face because I did not choose properly, now I'm going to have to detach myself from this person, and what am I going to have? I think that if we're more intentional about who we commit ourselves to, then this concern about what about me and what about you'll be proud of the legacy that you guys are building together. You'll be so proud of that. It's not going to feel like you're giving up anything. You're going to feel like I'm a part of something great because you are. So maybe we have to look at what is leading you, what mentally is leading you to believe that you lose something by tying yourself to a person where y'all are supposed to be building a legacy. I thought y'all said y'all wanted to be power couples. If that's the case, then why do you care about having his last name? Y'all a power couple. What's the problem? Right? You guys are doing great. You're doing great together. So it makes it seem like y'all don't even believe the BS that's coming out of your own mouths. Y'all are saying y'all are looking for these men that are going to lead you and take you to the next level and all of these wonderful things. But then when you do meet that guy, you don't want to take his last name. So I'm confused. I really am. Do you actually believe that then? Do you really believe it? Are you really looking for this guy? Because a guy like that has all those qualities that you guys say you want, and he's a man of God, the man of God. And he has all the qualities that you want. Why would you not want to tie yourself to that man and have a bunch of babies? So you don't want to have the same last name as your babies? It just gives confusion. Like y'all are just confused.
That's real right there. That's real. Vince, you want to go any farther with it, man?
Um, I had that situation before. I know if I spoke on it before. The situation before, of course, I was married. I dated someone, and she wanted to keep her last name, and it was funny because she didn't even have her father's last name. She had her maternal last name, but she had that issue too. Like, I want something for myself. I don't want to be tied to what you doing. I want something for myself. And I think that's the problem also when when we wait so late and we build so much on our own as an individual. And that's what I was talking about. When they built their own lives. And now instead of building a life together, you built your life and try to combine it with his life. It's not our life together. It's 1+1. It's not two. It's just 1+1. If you understand what I'm saying. So they're not blending together And to answer the question, I think black culture is not marriage material. I think we've demonized marriage. We said that the people who were married in the past, they didn't have no options. They was getting beat, had a family around the block. She couldn't open up no bank account. She could. It's never. Uh, they loved each other and they went through challenges and they stayed together because of first God, which I'm totally disgusted about all these Christians that's not Christians. Everybody want to be a Christian, but not be Christ-like. That I don't understand it. It's like Jesus is turned into Santa Claus, and that's it. It's just give me, give me, give me, give me a husband, give me a job, give me my breakthrough, give me my. It ain't Jesus is my Lord. He's Lord over my life. He's Lord over my decisions. He's Lord over my soul. And to Lord means you are over somebody. Jesus is not your partner. Jesus is not your friend. He's supposed to be your Lord and Savior. That's what the Bible says. And really, I'm not a big Christian, but it's just like the hypocrisy of it all. Oh, I'm a Christian, but I'm gonna leave my husband because he don't take me to Jamaica, or he's boring, or we fell out of love. But fall back into love if you ever loved him in the first place, and I think that's the main problem. I think a lot of people don't love people like that because there's very few people that I've seen that I'm really surprised that they got divorced. You know, some people I'm like, wow, really? For real? You know, I went to church with both of them. Their grandfathers was preachers and they got divorced. But some people, myself included, that first time, it was broken from the beginning.
Nah, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't gonna work no way.
Nah, I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying, man. There's some folks who move a certain way, and like you said, you find out they done got divorced, and you like, man, how? Like I never saw that coming. And there's other folks, you be like, man, I'm surprised that lasted that long. So no, I totally understand what you're saying, man. Totally understand what you're saying. Um, yeah, man, this video popped up a little while ago, man, but I had to bring it on back because I said we never really had a conversation around it. But I'm trying to understand something. Yeah, I'm trying to understand something. When did we get to a point where all we want to do is pick and choose? You're like, how you gonna sit here and say you want this man to marry you? This man say, okay, I'll marry you and commit to you. Now you want to pick and choose what part you gonna play in the situation. Like help me understand that. Yeah, so we all know a part of the marriage process is for you as the woman to take on this man's last name, essentially putting you under his protection. Then from there, as y'all enter into y'all union, you know, if this is a part of y'all plan, y'all produce some kids that then carry on the legacy of his last name. And it's like the process has been like this since the beginning of time. And I'm like, how do we get to a point where now you sitting here telling a man that's committing to you and protecting and providing for you and a family that you don't want to be a part of his last name? And I need somebody to really explain that to me, right? Because all I keep hearing over and over and over is that you want the commitment from the man, you want the resources from the man, you want the benefits of the said man, but then it's like you don't want to commit or do any pieces at all that you choose that you don't want to do in this marriage. Yeah, and I'm like, explain that to me. Yep, explain that to me. Yeah, because it really don't make no sense. You want to say something, Vince? Go ahead, man.
Well, I think it goes back to what I said before. Also, is that because we're waiting, even the young lady who was on the tonight's conversation, I think she has a child, and I think she's probably in her 30s. She looks like she's probably in her mid 30s. Um, so I think the kids thing might not be an issue because people are coming into these marriages with kids. So it's not necessarily the, oh, I want to uh, continue your legacy with children. So I think that might be off the table. Like in some instances, I do understand if you are a high level executive, you're a judge, I can understand maybe the hyphen, maybe the keeping your name with some things. Maybe you do have, but I'm talking about Henry Ford, Archer. I'm talking about names that really mean something legally, things of that nature. But I think a lot of times, I don't think these women have really had a man that they respected enough to feel like he's valuable enough for them to change their last name. I think a lot of these women, they don't attract the type of man that they really want. So the man that they usually get, they don't really value and respect him like that.
No, I can understand that, but my assumption to that would be with that man that you don't respect, he probably ain't marrying you no way.
Well, now,
So if the
I
no,
will
go ahead.
kind of disagree. I know a lot of men that marry disrespectful women, openly disrespectful. I've heard of men marrying these women and he can't say nothing to her kids. That's a big one. That's a big one nowadays with so many people with these blended families. Whereas, oh, well, no, he can't say nothing to my kids. Those are my kids. This is my house. No, I'm not putting them on. So I think that they kind of settle for men that they don't respect enough to change their last name. I don't think they value. I don't think they value them enough. I think they want a certain man that they don't even attract. They don't
Yeah,
get. So they get what they will consider settling for. So if I'm settling for you, then I mean it's like I hate to always use this example, but it's like when you settle for a car you don't want, but you need a car. Oh, well, this the only car I can get because of my credit, because of my down payment. It ain't really what I want, but if I gotta get it, but then you get it, you don't take care of it, you don't change the oil, you don't keep it clean because you really didn't want it in the first place.
right.
I think people do people like that.
No, I got you. I got you. But even, you know what I'm saying, even in that example, let's say that's not a bad example for this particular situation, right? So even in that example, even if she does settle for that car, she still got to put her name on that paperwork. Yeah, so my thing is this man, he's in this process committing to you, knowing that he has to put his name on you. So the fact that you have went along with this man committing to you to then come back and tell him he can't put his name on you because you what old girl say in the video, you done some work or you got some little title or whatever. My thing is this, then if that's how you feel, then just leave this dude alone. Just keep it a buck. Just leave this dude alone because at the end of the day, you're not really marriage material. You can see the reason why we having this conversation tonight, black people are not marriage material is the a lot of the ways that we are moving today is not marriage minded at all. Yeah, if you go back to the young lady in the video, she's talking about the work she's done. She's talking about the stuff she's achieved. Yeah, she's talking about her bloodline. Better yet, her daddy or her mama's bloodline, because it ain't her blood. It ain't her bloodline. It's their bloodline. She just inherited it. But she's talking about bloodlines and achievements and what she got and what her name is on, and everything is essentially I, and I. She ain't said nothing about we. She ain't said nothing about us. She ain't said nothing about her soon to be family with this man, and she ain't said nothing about none of that. If everything was about and I. Yeah, but if that is your mentality, then just go be by self. Yep, don't tie this man up that's marriage minded, who could go out here and find him a wife who understands commitment, has no issue putting his last name on her. She gonna wear it proudly because she wants to be a wife and she understands what comes with being a wife. Yep. So if you lead with and I, then just go be by yourself. Yep, go be by yourself. But see, that's not what we're doing. See, what we are doing is we are seeing some of these men out here who are on some serious stuff, who are trying to have a family, who are trying to make commitment. They're not playing games. And we just want to extract from these dudes. We want the resources of these dudes. We want the protection of these dudes. We want the covering of these dudes. We want the structure from these dudes. Yeah, but then we sitting here saying we don't want to take that dude's last name. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's crazy. Yeah, that mess is crazy. Yeah, because I'm really trying to get down to the bottom of what this is, right? Yeah, I'm really trying to get down to the bottom of what this is. I need some ladies to help me understand this. Some ladies in the comments on the panel, whatever. I need somebody to help me understand this. Why do I hear ladies talking about so much in marriage that they don't want to do? But I don't really hear men talking like that. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like I've heard the discussions over the years, right? So I've heard ladies say that men be taking too long. They be scared of commitment. They be dragging their feet to make a commitment. They be dragging their feet to propose. It's all these negatives that I've heard women state about men when it comes to the topic of marriage. But now we have a man who is ready to commit, makes a decision to commit. Now you want to tell him all the things that you don't want to do. So I need somebody to help me understand that, because if they so slow moving to the commitment, then why are you so slow after he commits to reciprocate your commitment? So help me understand something. Oh, Coco, you want to get it, Coco? Go ahead.
I mean,
Go
I
ahead.
saw. No, go ahead. Vince was going to say something.
I'm gonna say
Okay,
something
go
real
ahead.
quick. I think my man was 100% right when he said that marriage is a checklist. They just checking the box
Yeah.
because they'll say they want marriage, but do you want the man? Do you want the man or you want the marriage? And a lot of women say, "Oh, I want to be married," but you don't want the man. You know what I'm saying? I think that marriage has become another degree. It's
Mm,
something to say that they accomplished. Because if you ask them, well, why do you want to be married? They can't really answer that. And I think it just stems from the difference between men and women. And I think this money thing and this accomplishment thing has really messed us up because women get those things for them. Men get those things for women. If you say a man has accomplished all that, he wants to give that to a woman. All this, well, I got a degree so I can make more money, so I can take care of my wife, so I can take care of my kids. You never hear a woman say, "Oh, well, I got this degree because I want to help take care of my husband and my children." It's more so an individual thing. It's never, I want to make this money so I can contribute more to the household. It's like you want to make this money for you. So when things are for you, then it's really a selfishness.
yeah.
It's a selfish mentality.
Yeah. No, that's how it sounds, man. That's how it sounds. Go ahead, Coco. You want to respond?
No, I was just going to say, um, I think you asked a question. Um, I kind of lost my thought, but you were asking about, um, or talking about, what was the question that you asked? You asked a question to women.
Well, no, this the question is basically why is it always about what you don't want to do?
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, I think the point that I was going to make was, at first I was going to be funny, and I was going to say that maybe, some of those women have watched what some women have had to go through before them. And it's a little bit me being a little bit funny, but I don't know. The way women think these days, there could be some truth to it. Maybe they've watched the fact that women have been in relationships with men for, sometimes 2, 3, 4 years or so, and watched her kind of, help him with things and, pack his lunches and kind of show up for him and support him and, share her car and do things. And it didn't net the results that she would have thought that a woman doing those types of things would net. And so maybe some of those women are like, well, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to show up for a man in that space and do all of those things for him, and it not turn into, marriage, or not turn into a lifelong commitment. Like I don't want to put myself out there like that. And there's some truth to it, and I can understand it to a certain extent. I mean, why would you do that if it's not going anywhere? If it's not going, ultimately, let's just be honest. Ultimately, the goal in the relationship is for you guys to get to marriage. That's the goal. Because I don't want to be your girlfriend forever. I'm too old for that. Like, I'm not going to be your girlfriend. I don't want to be a girlfriend forever. I'm not even a girl anymore. So, like, I don't want to do that, right? Realistically speaking. But at the same time, I would agree with you. Now we have a situation, though, where the women are saying they're not going to do any of those things. So it's like it's flipped a little bit. So you had women who were more willing to do things, and some of those women did stay in relationships for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before maybe the man would finally commit, or maybe in some cases he didn't at all, right? Like, and so I can see people looking at that, women looking at that and going, that's not really what I'm trying to do. But the flip side of that is we go to the extreme then of, I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to do anything for you. Like, you need to show me something first, and then I'll consider doing something for you. But you got to show me. You have to provide something for me. You have to show me what you're capable of. Basically, you got to show me what you bring to the table first, and then maybe I'll consider, coming up off of some of this, and I don't know if that's part of it. I'd like to think that could be mixed in there, but I also think it's also what Vince said. So I think it's a little bit of both of those things. I think, yes, some of them have seen some of the cautionary tales and they're like, I want no parts of it. And then I think it's also this level of selfishness that we're seeing in our women, that women are like, I'm just not willing. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. Like, I only want to do things that I can see an immediate benefit for myself. And if there's no immediate benefit for me, then I don't want to do it. And I really think we're seeing that too. Like, let's just be honest, women have gotten more selfish. But I agree also when Vince says it's partially because we are now starting our lives so much later. We're now, what do I mean to say? We're doing so much on our own. This hyper independence has become a problem in ways that I don't think people are really recognizing, right? We talk about hyper independence in women, but really it's an issue, because once you've gotten to the point where you feel like, I have the car I want, I have the house I want, I have a good career, maybe you even have kids, right? And you're raising those children. And you're like, well, I built the whole life that I wanted. The only thing that was missing was the guy. So now you're like, okay, yeah, it might be nice to have somebody around. But now you're going to want him to come in and fit into the little square box that you've built for him to fit in. He needs to come in and be a certain way. He needs to be able to be okay with the way you have things. He needs to be able to be okay with how you spend your money. He needs to be able to contribute whatever he can to the situation without it disrupting anything that you already have going on. And that's what you want, right? Because you're so independent at this point that, I mean, that's why you can say, I don't need a man. It's also because you don't truly understand the value of what men bring to the table. But let's just, I mean, guys, society doesn't value what men bring to the table. So why are we expecting women to do so? Society consistently downplays the importance of a man. So where are women going to get the understanding of how important men are? Where are they going to get it from? If they don't have a dad in the house, if they don't have a male mentor or somebody, then where are they going to understand the importance of a man's position? Where are they going to get that from? And this is not me making excuses. I still don't think it's a good thing, but it's reality, right? Where are they going to get that understanding from of how important a man is? They're not going to have it. It's not going to be innate. So they're going to have to learn it. And then that now offers the idea of, do you care enough? Well, if I've already got my house, I've already got my career, I already got my kids, I already got my car, why should I care? Doesn't really matter. And now if he wants to come in and do everything that I want him to do, then great, he can come. But if he doesn't want to come in and do whatever the things I need him to do and how I want him to do it and whatever, then I don't need him. And that's the feeling. So that's why they can feel very comfortable with saying things like, I'm not going to cook. I don't want to. They're perfectly fine with door dashing every other day. And I don't really clean. I clean when I need to. But it's just me and the kids, and they clean up their own rooms. I make sure the house is not a mess, and we're good. I'm not for that all the way up in my house every day, cleaning and cooking and doing. I'm not for that.
Well, like
Some of them paying people to come in and clean for them. They not doing it at all. So now you think you gonna come in and all of a sudden they gonna clean? Why? I mean, I'm just saying, like, we have to look at how we've got here. You know what I'm saying? If we really want to understand what we're dealing with, right? Us girls, us old school girls, we had to work. We had to work for the ring. Okay? They was not, back in my day, they were not handing engagements out like they are. You get engaged, you get a ring, you get a ring. They wasn't doing that. They were not handing them engagement rings out, baby. You had to work for that ring. You had to work.
Oh, come on.
Now, some of y'all, not all of y'all, I'm not talking about the present company, but some of y'all now are, y'all proposing just to be their boyfriends. Y'all taking them up in airplanes on y'all first dates. Y'all are, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are flying them out just to see them in person. Y'all are, when are we going to have the conversation about some of the unrealistic expectations that are being set? And then you want them to cook. Why? Pay for a dinner. You flew me here. You airdropped the cootie to you. And now you want the cootie to cook? Why should I do that? And y'all make that okay. Because somebody doing it. Some man is doing it. Some man is doing it. And it's more than just 2 or 3 of y'all. Somebody doing it. So now us old chicks, we be sitting back looking at it like, okay.
Yeah. But I think also, Coco, with that,
Y'all getting what y'all getting.
Everything has become so transactional.
Oh, my bad, Vince. No, my bad. Go ahead. You good?
I
Go
think
ahead.
some men, because I've been around a few younger cats that's got it going on, and a lot of them they'll spend some money for an experience, but they spending the money to pay them to leave. They're not paying them to stay. So a lot of those, some of those men, they would rather take somebody out, spin a bag, and send them on their way because they're not really looking for a wife or a long term relationship. And a lot of women are okay with that because they're not looking for a husband either. They just want a vacation. They just want a vibe. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and then also with the whole cooking and cleaning thing, I think that's really been kind of blown out of proportion because ain't nobody. I mean, if y'all both working like most people, ain't nobody cooking every day. No way. You know, not like that. You might cook. I mean, out of 7 days, what 3 days out the weekend? Now these men are cooking too. I think the problem is people don't want to show acts of servitude because I think women haven't understood what a home cooked meal really means for a man. It's not the food. It's the love and the preparation that you put into it. It's acts of servitude. It's like a man who goes and pumps your gas or washes your car. Yeah, you can do that. You can, yeah, but it's the attitude like my man is taking care of me. My man gonna make sure the car is gassed up. He gonna make sure my oil is changed. He gonna make sure them tires ain't bald. You know, things of that nature to show acts of servitude. And I think a lot of women have not seen that done for a man that they value. They didn't see their mama take care of their mama can't stand their daddy. Oh, here come this motherfucker. I hope he hurry up and come pick you up. She ain't seen their mama cook him a meal or scratch his dandruff or, you know, I always go back to my grandparents. I seen my grandfather rubbing my grandmother's feet, when they hurt, or my grandmother rubbing my grandfather's back when he was aching. It was just, you know, I want some beans and hot water cornbread, and she'll make it, and it's just something. It's so I think it's just the acts of servitude because I always told you about the incident I had, with my own mother, who told my daughter not to make my plate. You shouldn't be making no plate for a man. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a mentality of it's not making the plate, it's making the plate for the right man. And I think a lot of these women and men too, they don't know how to pick the right husband or wife.
Right.
We picking it because a lot of people are picking out a survivor. They picking her because she pregnant. Oh, I don't want to pay. I only want to pay half of this rent. I don't think I'm gonna get nobody else. They're not picking for truly wanting to really serve each other, to really want to love each other. They picking out of.
No, that's valid, man. That's valid. I'm gonna segue right in the video too, just based on that.
Sorry, are either of you guys a couple? Sorry, are either of you guys a couple?
Yes.
Who's the couple?
We met in high school. High school sweethearts. We've been together for 42 years.
I used to like looking at her ass in the hole.
He was a nerd. Total nerd, not my type, but he was safe. Yeah.
That's what she realized. She loved the Harlem kid.
No. You used to sit behind me and blow into my hair while I was trying to write my notes, and my hair used to fly up like this.
When it was yours?
When it was mine. This is yours.
And 42 years in, what's your favorite thing about him?
He's my protector, my best friend.
I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for her, to be honest with you. 4 kids, 5 grandchildren, put everybody through college. She manages very well.
Oh.
Final couple questions and we'll let you go. If she was a Nick, who would she be?
Hudson.
Why?
I'm the point. I run it.
What Nick would he be?
OG Edido because I put the tip in.
So yeah, man, I saw this video, man. Like I said, and I just wanted to segue right into it based on what you were saying, Vince. And I'm just like, man, are we going to even see that anymore? what I mean by that is videos like that, couples like that, right? So she said they met in high school, been together 42 years. You see them out here doing an interview, you know what I'm saying? They speaking highly of each other. You know what I'm saying? She talking about that's her protector, that's her best friend. He talking about he wouldn't be where he was at if it wasn't for her. So just showing each other, love. And I'm like, are we even gonna be able to get back to that point? Well, hold on one sec. Let me just hold on. Hold on one sec. Let me get that other one out. I think it's this one right here. Oh, I think he just paused himself. I think he might have just paused himself.
Might be having some technical difficulties. Why you keep?
I'm not doing anything. Um, okay, but yeah, um, yeah. Let me. Yeah, can we even get back to that point? Yeah, but are we even going to see videos like that video anymore moving forward? Like the way we going about these things, the way we going into these marriage scenarios. Yeah, I don't know. I'm concerned. I'm concerned just based on the stuff I'm hearing, based on the stuff I'm seeing. I'm like, what are these videos gonna be a thing of the past? I don't know, Coco. You what you think? Is it possible? Can them type of relationships still exist? Can we still create those? Or I don't know. What you think?
I think yes. Obviously, they're possible. People are still getting married. Young people are still getting married. There is still a remnant of people that see and understand the value in marriage, right? But I think that we have to introduce and continue to introduce the importance of and the understanding of why, right? Because I don't think people understand anymore why. Like people don't know. They're like, marriage, why? And the reason why they don't understand it is because our modern society is presenting them a lifestyle that doesn't where marriage is not a requirement. It's presenting them a lifestyle that's very self-centered, self-reliant, selfish, that people are like, why should I even allow anybody into my space? Like, what's the point? Why, as a man, should I want to take care of another person? It's hard enough just taking care of myself. Like, why would I want to do that? And if I just want some kids, I can get a chick to give me some kids. I don't even have to marry her. So it's like society has really did a job on us mentally where we don't even truly understand the import. Like, why would I marry somebody and then if we get divorced, she gets to take half, or if we get divorced, he leaves me in a messed up situation. Now I got these kids and all of a sudden I'm a baby mama and I didn't intend to be. Like, it just is making, we talk so much about the undesirables of marriage. And I think you touched on this earlier about women saying what they won't do. We talk so much about the undesirable things when it comes to marriage. We don't, who's talking about the benefits? Who's talking about the pros? Who's talking about the real and true meaning of marriage and why we need to be doing it? Who's talking about generational wealth from a perspective of two people coming together and building it? He said he wouldn't be where he is without her. He said that, right? So for the young man that's coming along that's going, why should I get married? There you go. Because when you choose the right partner, you improve, you excel, you grow, your life expands. But who's talking about that? Who's actually talking about the real true benefits of marriage? All we talking about is if we get divorced, she get 50. Why should she get 50% of what the whole time you should be looking at it like she's getting 50 because she built this with me. We built it together. It doesn't matter if you had something when you met her. That doesn't matter. You had something when you met her. She had a little something when she met you. Y'all came together, put it together right there, if you put it together, that's why it's 50-50. Because you brought she brought whatever that looks like for you. If it's skill, if it's talent, if it's money, if it's resources, if it's tools, whatever it is, you brought what you had with you. She brought what she had with her. You put it together to build a life, a better life than you'd have on your own, with more possibility and a greater legacy. That's why. That's why. If you look at it like that, like a partnership, then you would understand why, even if y'all do separate, which I'm not for, but let's just say y'all do divorce and y'all do have to separate. That's why she gets a portion, you get a portion. Because you built it together. That's why. If it was a business partnership, it would have to happen that way too. Y'all are always talking about looking at marriage as a business. Well, if you really truly felt like that, then you'd understand why she get to walk away with her piece and you get to walk away with yours. Because that's how it works. But instead we're going, oh my God, what if I have to give her part? Oh. Gagged. So we spend so much time talking about the negatives of it that we don't understand how important and how vital it is for us to be able to build together. Y'all are always talking about unity. Well, we need unity in our relationships first before we can get unity in the community. We can't even have a relationship. How are we going to come together on one accord and rebuild a community? You can't do it because the foundation of the Black community has always been the family. So if you start to break down the family with society and those who in authority, know that if you attack the family and you're able to dismantle the family, you can dismantle the community. Now, y'all want to talk white supremacy all the time. I don't really want to have that conversation with you. But what I will say is there is a very concentrated effort to dismantle the Black family. That is happening. That is real. So if we want to talk about something that society and the government and the people in power are doing, let's talk about that. Because that's very real. But y'all don't want to talk about that. That's not what y'all want to talk about. Instead, y'all want to talk about being oppressed. That's what y'all want to talk about all the time. Nobody's stopping you from getting married and building wealth. Nobody. Guess what? They're not stopping you from doing that. They're going to discourage you because they want money coming from you and they want money coming from her instead of money coming from the both of y'all. Now, they will discourage it, but they can't stop you from doing it. No, you do that to yourself. So when we say Black people are not marriage material, it's the mindset. You got to fix that. You got to fix the way you look at it in general. Now, we come up here all the time. We talk about other communities, right? We limit how much we talk about other communities because the truth is we're not on the inside of those. We see them from the outside looking in. So we can only say so much. But from the outside looking in, one thing it does seem like they prioritize above other things is that family and that structure. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have their own stuff. It doesn't mean they don't have their own troubles. It doesn't mean that they don't have their own beef. I'm sure they have all of that. They're people just like we are. But at the end of the day, they understand. We need to come together so we can build something. So they're able to do that in their relationships, and then they're able to do that with each other to further build their community.
Right.
And we sit over here talking about something what we ain't going to do. I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. Now you don't even want to take the man's last name. Dang. Now tell me why he would want to give you 50% of anything that you don't even want to claim. You don't even want to claim him. Dang.
No, that's real right there. Let me throw this next one up. This lady put a little spin on it right here.
Women are having such a difficult time. The reason women are having such a difficult time in the dating world today is because what y'all are actually looking for are conservative men while simultaneously shitting on conservatism and living a liberal lifestyle or subscribing to liberalism, okay? The things that y'all are describing that you want in men, you want a chivalrous man, you want a leader, a provider, a man that loves the Lord, a man that allows you to sit in your femininity, a man that allows you to turn your brain off. Those are conservative values, babe. Our grandparents were conservative. Conservatism is not just a white thing. It's not a white supremacist thing. Black people in this country habitually were conservatives before like the 60s. Like what we are now to the left is what we used to be to the right. And conservatism does not mean you are a Trump supporter. Trump himself is not even conservative. And conservatism existed before Donald Trump. But there's a disconnect because the values that you're looking for as women, that's what you're going to find in a conservative man, 100%, not in a liberal man. Hope that helps.
Okay, so young lady, she put a little spin on it, and I think there's some validity to what she's saying. Yeah, I think there's some validity, Lester. I'm thinking that the ladies, they are looking for essentially the wrong type of guy in comparison to how they are or how they moving. But I don't know. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about what the young lady just said. Is it that the ladies today are looking for conservative men, but they are more liberal? So I'm curious. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all say. I'm coming back to the panel. Vince, you want to comment on that, man?
They are definitely looking for conservative men. They don't really want no 50-50 type dude. They really don't. They might say they do, but they really don't. They want a man who's conservative in his values, that's conservative in his spending, that's conservative in his ways of doing things, that's a family man, that believes in family, that believes in the legality of things. But I told you, they're looking for a unicorn.
You done said that a couple times, that unicorn, man. I don't know. It might be a couple unicorns over on 7 Mile of Woodward over there, man. What you think, man?
I told you what it is. I told you this hip hop generation, this Tupac and Jay-Z messed the game up. They want a thug professional. They want 50 Cent. They want somebody who gangster but still can go into a business room and put a suit and a tie on and still, get the respect as a businessman. And usually that's not the case. People are usually one way or the other.
Nah, I hear that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I hear that. But listen, I think that even right there, that points back to that picking and choosing.
What
Yeah,
I
you
want a
want to try to.
roughneck. How's that? I want a roughneck, Chloe. I want a roughneck. Gotta be a roughneck. I thought roughnecks went to prison.
That's what I thought too. You want to say something, Coco?
I was just gonna say, yeah, like I know you guys, well not you guys, but I know women have gotten tired of hearing this said over and over again. Um, and Kevin Samuels, before he passed on, he would say this, right? You're looking for the type of man, right, with these particular characteristics, but what do you have to offer this man, right? Like, why would a man like that choose you? And she really put it in practical terms because you're looking for a conservative man, but you yourself are not conservative. You're not. You're actually liberal. You want to be able to control what you do with your uterus. You want to be able to control when you open your legs, if you open your legs, why you open your legs. You want to be able to determine how you live your life in terms of if you want to be the type of mother that just sends your children off to daycare, which by the way, I am not saying there's anything wrong with that. But liberally speaking, you want these choices. You want the ability to choose these things. You want to have all these options available to you. You want to decide if, you want to be the type of career woman where, you work and maybe your husband stays at home, or you whatever. You want these options, you want these choices, you want to be able to design the type of life that works best for you, right? That is a liberal mindset. That is not a conservative mindset. It's not. But then you want your man, on the other hand, to still uphold those conservative values. You want him to be, like Vince said, all of those things. Conservative in the way he spends his money, conservative in his thought, in his actions. You want him to, be that male leader, provider, protector role. You want, and let's just be honest, ladies, y'all want him to pay all the bills, if not all the bills, the greater majority of them. And that's just the truth. That's what you want. Well, that's conservative. So you want him to be conservative, but you want to be out here, doing what you do. And it just doesn't work. You can't land that type of man thinking that he's going to want to take all those conservative values and kind of cast them to the side for you so that you can live the life that you want to, when you want to, how you want to, and then dip back in with him when you're ready to. That's just not how that works, right? I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. You don't get to tie yourself to a man and then think that you can still continue to be whatever you want to be. At some point, you're going to have to answer to somebody. And that's the real problem. That's the real issue. Y'all don't want to have to answer to anybody. Y'all don't want to. You didn't have a dad to have to answer to. You didn't have a male figure around you that you had to answer to. Right? And then, you might have had a couple aunties or mamas that tried to tell you something, but, you weren't trying to hear that. So now you're in a situation where you want a certain type of man, but that type of man, he going to have something to say. He most definitely going to have something to say. A conservative man is most definitely going to have an opinion about your life.
He's controlling.
Right. Oh, it's strict over here. Oh, he run a strict program, and you ain't going to have nothing to do with it. I'm seeing women turn down men who go to the gym and work out because they know that if he working out 4-5 times a week, that at some point he gonna start looking at her like, you don't go to the gym, you don't work out at all, you don't go for walks, you don't do nothing. Oh no, come to the gym with me. And then her face gonna be screwed up like she swallowed something nasty, cause she ain't trying to do that. So instead, I'm just not gonna date the guy. I'm not gonna date the guy that care about his health and go to the gym, cause I don't want that. So now I want a medium ugly dude with a pot belly. That's where this pot belly phenomenon come around. All of a sudden, y'all seen it. Now they put the chart of the men up there, and the women talking something. Yeah, I want him, the one with a little bit of a belly. Yeah, you want him with a little bit of a belly because this man he ain't working out every day, and he ain't gonna ask you to. Let's just be so for real. That's why.
That's real right there. That's real. All right, let me keep moving. Let's say we ain't gonna be on here all night. Let me keep moving. Hold on. All right, cool. I don't know if I want to use her, man. I might wrap this up with him right here. Yeah, this other girl, she got some music in here. I don't even want to risk it. So yeah, let me go straight to okay. So this
Okay.
No, I got you, Vince. All right, so I got this last one. I gotta play this because it's popped up on my feed today. And I got some questions around this since we talking marriage materials. Let me run this last one.
Your boy co-parenting daddy. Oh, look at that. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy co-parenting daddy. Oh, look at that sunrise right there behind me. Good morning. I'm just out here. Hey, so my question today, I'm always asking for a friend, is as you get back out there dating, how young is too young? And is there an age that's too old? So my buddy said if you're going to go younger, you got to go your oldest child's age and add 8 years. So my daughter Kayla is 30, so 38. Is that appropriate? And I'm going to be 53. And then another friend said it's half your age plus 7. So I don't know. And then how old is too old? Like if I'm 53, can I go 60? 65? I don't know, man. Y'all weigh in. Let me know. How old is too old? Remember, I'm just asking for a friend. Co-parenting daddy. Daddy daycare. Let me know. We out.
All right. So yeah, so that one crossed my feed. Yeah. So that's Ty right there. So Ty say that's I'm gonna say this in a jokingly way. So that's Candy's ex-husband. I'm joking. But that's Ty right there, right? So Todd said is how young is too young? So Todd said he is 53. He said one of the fellas said your child's age or your oldest child's age plus 8. So that would put the candidate, the young lady that's a candidate at 38 years old. Then the other dude said half, I think he said half your age plus 7. So see, that'll be 25, 20, so basically right back in the mid 30s, right in that number. So let me ask y'all this. Y'all drop a comment as well. Let me know what y'all say. At 53, what's too young? Just keeping it a bean. At 53, as a 53-year-old man, what is too young for you to be dating? I'm just curious. Go ahead, Vince. You get it first.
That's so funny. Well, first of all, I think he got the half your age plus 7 from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all ever watched the movie Malcolm X. That's what he told Malcolm X. That would be the proper woman for him, half his age plus 7. So that's where he probably got that from. Now, it's funny because me and Remy had this conversation because I dated somebody that was 17 years younger than me. And she know it, and her thing is, I can't see how that happened. I can't see you dating nobody that age. Now, mind you, she's 10 years younger than me. Remy is 10 years younger. Now, I'm 53, she's 43. So, always, now, I'm 53. I wouldn't date nobody. I wouldn't date anybody in their 20s. I would say maybe 37, 38. But I think it kind of depends on what you're looking for in a wife. I mean, if you're looking to still have children, you got to have them young enough to where they can pop you out at least one. So if you ain't looking to have no kids, I mean, you might be able to date somebody 50. But in my experience, I want to know what money and wine.
Hey man.
We all gonna get old, but okay. We all gonna get old.
And
But okay.
I don't know. With me, it just seemed like my wife keep me youthful, and then we have 2 small kids too. So I mean, I think if she was my age, she still would have been the one for me because she's just my person. But I mean, I don't think I can go my age just for that, and it is stereotypical. It is generalizing, but they got too much attitude, and I don't need nobody to put me together. So,
Okay. Hey man. Hey man. All right, let me check these comments and I'm gonna come right back to the panel. Hold that thought. I'm gonna come right back. Let's see. Civil said, let's see, can you specify on what you mean by dating? Come on, Civil. You already know what this is, man. You already know what this is. What's going on, Civil? Appreciate you having on tonight, man. Civil also said, personally, I would not go below 27 and I'm 41. Okay, so 41. So basically you going back, okay, so about 14 years, 13, 14 years. Okay. All right, all right. I got it. Let's see. Donovan said, old souls can't go younger at all. Y'all funny in here. Y'all funny. All right. Coco, I know. Did you want to say something on this? I had put you on mute. I didn't know. Go ahead.
Um, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I agree with Donovan when he said his mom said 7 plus or minus. Yeah, I think for me personally, I think it gets a little weird when you go past 10. For me, I just think that it gets a little weird. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened and that it hasn't worked for people, but yeah, I do. I think that when you go too far back, it does look a little weird. I do understand the argument though that if you're a man who has waited to have kids and you still want to have children, so you definitely are going to be looking for someone who is young enough to have children, and I understand that argument. So once again, you have to do what you know is best, but for you and your person. But yeah, I think when you start getting too far past that 10 mark, like it gets a little interesting because I'm the kind of person that thinks backwards. Like I know they adult now, but when I was their age, how old were they? And I go, that's weird. That's a little weird. So, just saying.
Okay, I ain't mad at it. Yeah, and I was curious. I say this video popped up on my feed, um, and I'm looking at the situation, right? So I'm like, okay, this Ty right here. He was with Candy for however many years he was with her. We still don't have enough. At least I ain't been invested in it, but I still ain't seen an official reason why they even got a divorce. I still ain't seen it yet. I seen some rumors about some possible infidelity and some stuff, but I ain't seen nothing concrete yet. But that's just me. So if y'all know something I don't know, drop a comment. But I ain't. Go ahead.
I think the issue is what we've always said. He ain't making enough money. He came
Mm.
in, with her own money and and that horrible ass mama. I wouldn't have married her in the first place. That mama wouldn't go talk to me all crazy like that. I don't care how much money you got. So that was one of them examples of the foundation where that man wasn't never respected.
Yeah. No, I can
You
see that.
know, and then it seemed like every time something you went wrong, it was his fault. They had the restaurants in Atlanta and they failed, and then they blaming Todd, and because it's just a different thing. Because men are held to a different standard when it comes to marriage, and I think that's why a lot of these women are going to women because it's not as much pressure for two women. Say, the Brat and BB Judy. There's no expectation of who takes care of who makes more money. You very rarely see say, oh well, two lesbian women, oh well, she taking advantage of her, or she caring. You never really, hear that with women. With two women that I've heard.
I don't know. Them studs been talking about them girls. They said them girls don't want to do nothing. They want them to pay for everything.
No, no, no,
They
no,
been
no, no,
complaining.
no, no, no. What I mean is that when you make that much less than your wife, you you're the plus one as a man. You're always gonna be the plus one. You know,
I understand what you're saying.
it's he's Candy's husband, not she's Todd's wife.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So it's just a little different in mentality. And I just, they had the prenup issue, when they was first getting together. He didn't want to sign the prenup, and you know, it, and then it seems like he wasn't no bum. He came with his own career, and it seemed like he a good father outside, looking in, and it seemed like that would be enough to keep a marriage together. I mean, he 50 something, she in her late 40s. I mean, what else you gonna get out there?
Yeah.
How much, but I understand. I understand. His point was he probably coming into the house and that damn mama always looking at him sideways, and you in my daughter's house, you taking advantage of my daughter. And then that's her mama, so she ain't checking her mama because her mama taking care of the kids.
Yeah. No, I can see how that dynamic could
That's
be all jacked up.
but I bet
Um,
but you know what though? I bet if he had Puffy's mama, his mama would have been in check. That's the crazy thing. If he was Puffy or Jay-Z, oh, I love Todd. Todd, my son in love. She probably be all on Todd's thing.
Right. I understand. I understand. But yeah, that video, it crossed my feed. And it just got me thinking, right? So, and I think the video is valid for a lot of reasons, but one in particular, right? So once again, this is Todd. Yeah, he was married to Kandi for some years. Yep, they got, I want to say, was it two? I think they got two together. And then Kandi had one before Todd, and then Todd had one before Kandi, right? So it's four total. But they got two together, right? So he done been down the road with Kandi. Like I said, they did some years, right? But the reason why the video got me, and I'm like, I gotta put this video up because we gotta have this conversation, is he's making the post about how young is too young, or how old is too old. And I know tonight we talking black people are not marriage material. My question to Todd would be, after what you know, why is your question still the same? Yep, and what I mean by that is, as a 53-year-old man who was married to Kandi Burris, had two kids, was married for some years, why would your question today still be how young or how young is too young versus if she's mature? Yeah, because I know we talking marriage, but it's just like the mindset is still not changing. From the experience that I've seen that Todd has had in that whole relationship, Vince, I know you touched on the mama and how she had her hands and stuff, and I'm sure she was influencing Kandi in that situation, and his kids is up in the middle of that thing and this and that. And this is like, I would think at that age, you would be past age as the base at this point. Yep, just because, like, why is age still at the top of your question based on what you've been through? Why has your question not changed to her age is not as important as how mature she is, or how she moves as a woman, or her wifely qualities, or the things that actually matter? Because he's done the material thing. For me, age is material. So he done went and got a chick with money. He know what that's about. He did that for some years, like like Vince was saying, and I have to agree. They probably didn't even respect my man. So you know some things already. Yep. So why does your question as a man at your age, at your experience, why does your question not change from her age per se to how mature she is and where her mind is at? Because age don't dictate that. Yep, age does not dictate where a young lady's level of maturity and her mind is at. And the reason why I say that is because I'm a firm believer that, I know we like to condition everybody with women is so much mature than men and all of that, but I got way too many examples of how that's not true. Yep, so we looking at maturity, we looking at character, we looking at mindset at this point. Yeah, so I just wonder, why would a man at that age and that experience, why wouldn't his questions be changing? Versus if this girl is young and I can add my oldest child and add 7 on that or whatever. Like, why is the question not changing? Especially if we talking about the end goal is getting to marriage and stability and family and all of that. So I'm just curious, because that kind of caught me a little bit, because I know my question would change, especially based on if I was a Todd and what I've seen and seeing out here. So yeah, that's really what got me locked in on this video. But go ahead, Vince. You want to respond to that, man?
I think the age thing was more of, is she going to be young enough to whereas I can kind of, and let's just keep it a buck, I can kind of mold and she'll be cooperative with my program instead of getting an older woman like a Candy or like somebody else who already have their program. I think he means the age thing. It's just like a woman who says she quote unquote wants an older man because the idea is that an older man is more wise, he's more stable, he's been through more things, he can teach me more things, more like I'm 53 than maybe a 35-year-old. Say she's 43 and she said, okay, well, I want a man who I can learn something from, who's wise, whatever. She's probably not going to go to a 35. And just for the sake of the conversation. So I think his thing is he probably wants somebody younger to where she hasn't, that it's still new. Like men do want to be with somebody that's it's still new. Like if I take you somewhere you ain't been there already, it's still new. It's something fresh. It's something, because men want to feel that it's something new with us. A woman, she really don't care if you done been somewhere else. It's like you gonna take me there, or you gonna be able to provide. It's like for instance, it's like a man that has been married and took care of his wife, and she's a widow. A woman will look at how he's taking care of his wife and think that's admirable and respectable, and ooh, I want that. A man will say, "You've been with this cat for 40 something years. You, I don't have a shot with you because you love, because men imprint on women. So if you was married to this man for 40 something, for 20 years, 30 years, and then I come around, it's not the love that we're gonna want. And a part of that probably is a man's ego. I'm gonna be honest with it. It's probably a man's ego.
That's real. That's real.
Just keeping it a buck.
No,
It's
that's real
probably a
right there.
man's ego.
Yeah, that's real, and that's like I said. Even in that, go ahead, Coco. You want to say something?
I was gonna say, imagine if women had that same thing. Like, imagine, right? Like, you know, it's this thing about us being just enamored with youth and just so taken in with it. And imagine if women were the same way, where women were like, I can't see myself doing it. I just gotta, I can't date an older guy. Like, I just can't date a guy my age. Like, I don't see myself just actually being able to be with somebody my age. Like, I don't want nothing old. Like, imagine if women were saying that, right?
But I
We wouldn't
think that's
even,
the
men
difference
wouldn't
in
even
men
be
and
able
women, though.
to. I mean, I'm just saying, if women had the same type of ego or the same type of arrogance or the same type of mindset, then, some of these conversations that men are having about, not wanting to date women their age or whatever the case may be, we wouldn't even be having these conversations because
Well,
women wouldn't be, because the younger women that these men are potentially enamored with would not be giving them the time of day because they would be saying things like, I want to be with a man that I'm not going to have to worry about aging before I age. I want to be with a man that, if I have some kids and give him some kids, that, he's going to be able to keep up with those kids the same way that I can keep up with those kids. I want to be able to be with a man where, we can retire around the same time. Like, I want to be able to be with a man that, he and I came from a similar time, where we recognize certain things because we had those same things. So I think that really right there. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna do that. Civil. We're gonna stay on what I'm talking about. We're not gonna do that. We do that a lot. We're not gonna deflect. We're gonna stay right on what we're talking about. If women had the same type of, you know, mindset about that, then where would we be with that, right?
But they do. But
So
to
things
make
can
your
only
point, Coco.
exist the way that they are. Things can only exist the way that they are because of the types of things that women prioritize, right? So because women prioritize things that are different than what men prioritize, because women are different in that way, is the only reason why this type of conversation can even be had. It's the only reason why men can say, well, I'd rather date a younger woman, or have a conversation about how young is too young, right? The only reason why we can have these conversations is because women are different. But then on the flip side, here's the interesting part to this, right? We now have a problem, some of us, maybe not the present company, but we now have a problem with women caring about the things that they care about. A man's money, a man's leadership, a man's protection, a man's provision, things like that. Because those are the things that women prioritize, they are not as picky about his age or those types of things if he can provide those other things that they care more about, right? But we have a problem with it when women come forth and they say, well, those are my priorities. I'm prioritizing his, you know what I'm saying? I'm prioritizing his provision. I'm prioritizing what he can provide for me. I'm prioritizing what he can do for me. Those are the things that I care about. That's what I'm prioritizing. So that other stuff, the pot belly, poof, I don't care about that. The age, poof, I don't care so much about that, because this is what I prioritize. But we have a community of men, a specific community of men, that have a problem with that. So now we need to have a real conversation. Like, we say these things and we drop these one-liners and we talk about women and bank accounts and all of that. But let's be real. Let's have a real, genuine conversation. Okay? Because men can't be confused. You can't be running around here talking about women are confused. Maybe you're confused too. Now you got to decide what matters. Because if you want to take the position that that's how you feel about youth and women, then please understand, when she come to you as an older man expecting you to be able to provide a certain type of life for her, because why should you not? Then be quiet and provide it.
But see, I don't have no problem with that.
Right, you might not have a problem with that, but
And
there are plenty who do.
I think that the men who had a problem is the men that want a Beyonce on Wendy's money. You ain't go get a Beyonce on Wendy's money. So I kind of don't understand your point, Coco, because women have always wanted men who can provide and protect. So usually those men are older. If you 25 and
Not if
he
she's
ain't
young too. Not if she's young too. I
to
think it
marry, depends. To marry
I
or just
think
to
it I
play
think it
around with.
depends. What I'm saying is it's not exclusive. It's not exclusive. Plenty of women marry men in their same age bracket.
Definitely,
It's not
definitely,
exclusive. It's not
definitely.
she's not always saying he's got to be a protector and provider, so that means I have to go older. Plenty of women marry men who are in their age bracket, a few
Sure.
years difference, that plenty of women do. So all you young women are saying, it, provider protector to me looks like older. That's not what a lot, actually, it's not what a lot of women are saying. Most women are still marrying within their age bracket, a few years here, there, minus plus.
Right.
It's not like the greater majority of women are marrying older men,
Right.
right?
I get what you're
So
saying.
still we're still dealing with women saying, yes, I'm prioritizing provision, I'm prioritizing, but I
But
still
see,
want a man sort of in my age bracket. I'm still
my
looking for
mhm.
that.
My issue has always been in these conversations is that I don't knock people for what they want. My thing is, why can't you get it? If you want to provide a protector to pay all your bills, then what you coming to the table with? You can't say, "Well, I want this, but I'm not gonna cook. I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna keep my hair done. I ain't gonna be in shape. I ain't gonna be this." Or if you a dude, well, I want a woman who gonna cook for me and clean for me and do this. Then that costs. I don't have no problem. I'm a very practical person. Just like I told y'all, I know I get the cooperation and the the treatment for my wife because I take care of everything. She ain't got to worry about nothing.
Oh,
So
come on.
I understand that. I understand. I get, yes, Mr. Williams, whatever you
Man,
like.
I need to hear Remy say this, man. Hold on, man.
Your woman, hold on. I go get her and fix it because I don't know if she gonna want to come online.
Nah, don't
And
start.
that's usually why she not on here because she'll be like, "Yep,"
Don't get
because
nobody
he
in trouble, man.
because he. You gotta understand something. I take, I'm a good husband.
I don't want to start no trouble, man.
I'm just saying.
But my thing is,
Everybody don't see it the same way.
you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. That's all I'm saying. You gotta pay the cost. Quay, I know you pay the cost. I know
No,
if
like
you
I
was
said,
some old average dude
I
making
know what it
$20
is.
an hour, you wouldn't
Yeah.
get that nice sweet cocoa all the time. I don't have no problem with it.
Man,
And I think
man.
that was what Kevin Samuels was talking about. His thing was we talking about a different type of dude. Y'all want these type of dudes. Y'all don't want these average dudes. Y'all want these dudes that can take care of everything. It ain't no problem. You ain't got to worry about going to work. If you want to work, you can work, but you don't have to work. It's different when you don't have to go to work and you still can do whatever you want to do. You can spend time with the kids. You can be a soccer mom. Da, da, da.
So
So
okay. So let me dig back into this because I said I gotta Ty got me asking some questions. So I know we got some ladies floating around in the comments. I think they still there. Yeah, ladies, let me know if y'all still there because I got a question. I think this is serious, right? So I got to go ahead and put this question out there. So, my position on it is I feel like Todd's question or a man at his level, his question should be changing at this point, right? So it shouldn't just be about our age at this point. It should be more centered around our mindset, maturity level, and important things, right? So this is my question on the flip side to the ladies. So, ladies, I got a question. And I guess fellas, y'all can chime in on this too. But this question is really for the ladies. So, ladies, as we see a lot of times when a gentleman in his older age, let's just say is his late 40s, 50s, going into the 60s, right? When he is single, he is looking for younger women. Let's just keep it a bean. Yep, and I've heard multiple reasons as to why he's looking for a younger woman, right? So he may be looking to have some kids, so he's looking for a woman that's younger that can have some kids. But one of the overwhelming answers that I've heard is that the younger women, they come with less attitude, they ain't so stuck in their ways, they more moldable, they more cooperative, they take care of themselves better. So I've heard those overwhelmingly versus just her being able to have some kids. Because a lot of guys that get into that age range, they're not looking to have no kids
there's no
anyway.
way.
They didn't did that already. So they looking to find somebody, that they enjoy, have some fun with, and enjoy being around each other. She ain't on that now, whatever. So my question to the ladies is ladies, when y'all hear that, do you think that there is something that you need to do about that? Yeah, this is a serious question to the ladies. Yeah, so when the grown men are looking for a woman in their older age, they're immediately going to women younger. So they're looking right past the women that are in their age range. Yep, and most dudes typically don't want to go older. So if he's 53, he probably not going to check for a woman that's 60. And it's because of some of the same reasons that I just gave out. Yep, so as women, when y'all hear that, do y'all feel like y'all need to make some changes or some adjustments so that that's not a man in that age range's first thought? If any ladies is in the comments, drop a comment. Let me know what y'all position is on that. I'm just curious. Oh, Coco, I saw you done came off quick. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let the ladies in the comment section answer that question, and I'm just
They
gonna
getting a
offer
little
some
quiet
food.
though.
I'm just gonna offer some food for thought, right? I'm gonna
Go
let
ahead.
them answer that question because you asked. But I have a little food for thought, right? I think that there's a part of me that understands where the men are coming from because I'm also a part of conversations with women who, yeah, at their ages, at their big old ages. Some of them are traumatized, some of them are jaded, some of them are so hyper independent that it's hard for them to even be a part of a couple. Like they don't really know how to compromise, they don't know how to have a meeting of the minds, they don't know how to share. Like so I totally understand where men are coming from when they say these things, but there is a part of me that feels like it's a little bit disingenuous. And the reason why I say that is because not all men, I am not talking about every single man when I make this comment. I am only talking about this particular type of man, right? You have been a big part of the reason why some of the women in your age bracket are jaded. You and the men like you have been out here and you was playing in these women's faces and you was playing in between their legs. Some of y'all was doing that. Some of y'all were absolutely doing that. And I'm not saying she didn't consent to it. I'm not saying she wasn't down for it. I'm not saying she didn't participate. I'm not taking any accountability from her at all. I'm simply saying that you were a part of it as well. You were part and parcel to the reason why maybe she like, dog, I don't know if I should be taking these dudes seriously or not. Like I guess I'm just at the point now where I want us to be accountable equally. Like I want men to see where they need to be held accountable, and I want women to see where they need to be held accountable. I'm just tired of us having this one-sided conversation. Like women just got here magically all on their own. They never had any influence from men. Men never did anything. Men never contributed to this. Men were just completely silent the whole time. They were completely not a part of the conversation. It never like, are we really trying to do that? Are we really saying that? That's what we're saying. Because that's completely unrealistic. I'm not saying that women have not stood in their own. I personally believe we are our biggest op. Women, as women, we are our biggest op. I personally believe that. But I'm not about to sit here and go, we did all of this by ourselves. That's insane. It's no way we did all of this by ourselves. And so when I look at this, I go, whether you were active participant, whether you were complicit in it, whatever you did, you participated in some way, shape, or form. I'm not talking of every man at this point. I'm talking about these men. You know you did. And those are the ones that are the loudest. Talking about some what I'm not gonna deal with, and I don't want no woman and I don't want no woman that been ran up and through there. Meanwhile, you was running them chicks up and through there. Now you like, I don't want a woman that's been ran up and through there. But the you 5 years ago, the you 10 years ago was knocking them down. Yes, sir. But now you look at the same age group of women, the women that was younger when you were younger, the ones you was running through. Now they're like, whatever they're saying or however they're behaving or whatever they're doing, pick, because it's a whole bunch of stuff circulating out here. Now it's like, well, that's why I don't want to deal with women my age because their attitudes and they're this and they're that. And I'm like, sir, you ain't ran into none of these girls 10 years ago. You didn't run into none of these girls 5 years ago. You didn't run into any of these girls when they were 10 years younger, 15 years younger. You didn't run into any of these girls. You ain't ghost none of these girls. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't say, she knew what it was. She knew what it was after you did whatever you had to do to get in her pants. Like, we gonna just sit up here and act like y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all did nothing to these women. And now
Chloe,
you're saying, I don't understand why these women, they crazy. They going ziggity boom. I don't know what's wrong with these women. They out they mad.
you know what the problem that I have with
Oh,
these
come
some of these
on.
conversations is that we act like men don't get they played in their face. I've
I'm
been
sure
cheated
y'all
on,
do.
but
I'm not
but
saying that
but
that
I'm
doesn't
let me
happen.
finish. But I'm not gonna say, oh, well, just because that happened, nah, I'm not gonna be a provider. That's in my nature. That's what I'm doing. So it's
Some
just
men
like a
are saying
woman.
that though.
I ain't talking
You
about
not
them.
saying that.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones
That's what I
who
was
really.
talking about.
I'm talking about high value for real men. I ain't talking about these fake and shakers.
Okay.
I'm talking about these real dudes. And see, I think that's the point too. Is like my first marriage took me to the fucking cleaners. I could be like, oh, I ain't getting married again. No, I just picked wrong. I just picked bad. In all these engagements, it was me. I picked wrong and I picked bad. I can say, well, they play, and some of them played in my face. I had a chick that was married and didn't tell me she was married. We was together for 3-4 years. Didn't find out she was married until some paperwork came to the house talking about a court date. Oh well, I ain't think it really mattered. So that's not men get they played in their face too. See, we always go with the smack. Men get played in their face. Men get played for the baby daddy and played for a dude. So my
I wish
thing is, let me finish.
I
Let me
wish we could
finish.
have stayed on what we was talking about and
No,
not
no,
bring
no,
men
but
into
no, but
it.
you were saying like all these experiences, and now it just no
We were
men go
talking about women. His question was
men,
about
but
women.
men go to younger women because we value youth. Y'all value money and protection. That's
Okay,
really all
but
it is.
the
Cause
problem is that's not what
and
y'all
most of these
say though.
old women look like my mama.
That's not what y'all are saying though. That's not what y'all are saying. When y'all go to these young women, like Quay pointed out earlier, some of y'all, okay, I understand those who are saying, I want to have kids. Obviously, if you want to have kids, I totally understand the argument of I gotta go younger. I get it. Okay. So sit that to the side because I understand that conversation. I get it. I get that. But if we're talking about just what we're hearing men say, their attitudes, their attitudes, their attitudes, their attitudes, they're hyper independent, their attitudes, right? Like if we're listening to this, because we hear a lot of that, and younger women are more,
Useful.
how did yeah, more well no,
Youthful.
how did you say it, Quay? Younger women are less traumatized or
Yeah,
more
more cooperative. And I said less,
cooperative. Okay,
more
right.
moldable. Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the narrative we're going with, right? If that's the narrative that we're going with, and I have heard this narrative before, if that's the narrative that we're going with, then we do have to recognize that the women that are have more attitude, not a hyper independent thing, y'all know how I feel about that. Okay, I don't agree with
Young
that at
ones is
all.
hyper independent too.
But huh?
I said young ones is hyper independent too.
They can be. They can be.
They are.
Actually, the young ones can have the attitudes too. They can have all of this. But if we're gonna follow this narrative, because it is I honestly I think a lot of these are YouTube talking points because I done met some young women that have the nastiest attitudes, baby. They nasty. So all
Right.
these young women y'all talking about that's all cooperative, show me a few of them. Because some of these young women I'm coming across, baby, they nasty. But whatever y'all say. Um anyway, I would say that, it's the narrative for me. It's the narrative for me. Like I get it. I who wants to be with anybody that's naggy and nasty and I'm just gonna say it unhealthy, don't take care of their bodies, don't prioritize their health. Like, why would I ask you to choose that? Please do not move around that. But at the same time, are we really seriously going to say, because we're talking about, and I'm not saying that Vince is wrong, that men have not had their traumatic experiences as well, because I know that you guys have. But the question that was posed was about women. So why do we think that as men, some of these women with attitude, like, I don't know why we're not having a conversation that, okay, the men that are saying, I used to do this back in my day. I used to do like this back in my day. I used to be running up and through these chicks. I knocked them down. I done been with quite a few, or whatever the case is, and what y'all been saying. Y'all do understand that's your side of the story. Okay, now all of those women that you came across, they have their side of the story and their personal purview of what happens and what it did to them. These are the women that are now in your age group that you are now saying, I can't deal with them. I'm gonna go find somebody younger. That's the point that I was making. Some men have been a part of the problem. And now they get to, because women don't value the same things that you guys value, you guys get to say, well, I might have been a part of that problem, but I don't have to deal with it. I choose not to. So I might have been a participant, but now that I get a choice, I'm not choosing to deal with that.
Well, women have choices too, though.
I
I don't understand your
The
point.
question was about
But I don't
women.
understand because older women
This
date
is
younger men if that's
insane.
what they can get.
I'm not saying that men. Listen, He asked the question about women. I'm trying to talk about women. I'm just trying to talk about women. Okay.
I think
We
women
talk
need to
about we
be.
talk about we talk
I
about what
think
women have
women
done to
need to
men a
be.
lot.
I
So
think if
now
they
I'm trying to
want.
talk about what men have done to women.
I think if they want a certain type of man, they need to be more useful. They need to be a little bit more, fit, feminine, and friendly.
But you can be fit, feminine, and friendly at 40, 45, at 50.
Of
You can
course.
be right, but that's not
And
what y'all are
and I think that
saying.
and I think that's I don't necessarily think it's the age. I think it's the whole attitude. And it's just the generalization because just like with older men, women generally think older men are more wise, they're more put together. You don't really say a man in his 30s is wise and put together. You might say a man in his 40s or 50s or maybe even 60s. It's just like yes, it works the same way because when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, a lot of women passed me over because I wasn't where I needed to be in life, in my money, my status, I had two small kids. They wanted a little older man that didn't have no little kids. They ain't had no ex-wife that was taking them to child support every 5 minutes. They wanted somebody past that, or somebody that they can build their own life with. They had their own kids with. So it's kind of what you want at the specific time. And
Yeah.
men value youth in a woman. We just do. Y'all value provision. I don't have no problem with it. I think that's the problem. Everybody want to change it. No. Get your money up and get your beauty up. Have a better world.
Oh, man.
I just think it's I just think it's disingenuous and irresponsible for men to and once again, I'm talking about the specific men. I think it's just disingenuous, and irresponsible for men, and I'm never gonna be okay with it. This is always gonna be my opinion, and nobody's ever gonna change it. It's not okay for you to be a part of the problem, and then once you gain some type of wisdom later on, or you come into a different situation or a scenario, you get to go, I'm not going to deal with the repercussions of my actions. We don't allow women to do that. We don't allow, and when I say that, I mean in this specific area where you get to say, well, I know I might have caused some of that trauma. I understand I may have created some of those broken homes. I understand that I might have contributed into some of these women being a little disgruntled with men because I was ignorant at the time. I just wasn't doing things the right way. I'm doing things the right way now. But so now I'm ready to settle down. I got myself together. I'm in a different mindset. I'm in a different place. And I am just not going to even entertain any of those women that might fall in the bucket or in the category of women that have been in that scenario and in that situation. I'm going to go buy the new car, like Donovan said, because it has less miles on it. Even though I helped put some of the miles on some of those older models, I did that. But now I feel like because I value youth, right? And because I can get a woman to come up under me because she values provision and I can provide that. So because I can provide that, now, I'm going to say, well, yeah, I'm not even going to look at the bucket of women in my in my category or in my lane.
But
I'm going
that
to
ain't the
see
women
if
in
I
my
can
lane.
find. I just think this is my opinion and it's going to stay my opinion. That's not cool. And I just believe that you're gonna have to answer to that. Like, I don't, at some point you have to, like, because you don't get to create a mess and then be like, okay, I'm gonna wash my hands of it. Just like with women, we tell women you don't get to be loose. Somebody called it out, lack discernment, go out there, be sleeping around with these dudes, having multiple babies, and then think that some level-headed good guy with no kids and what I'm saying, a great career is going to come along and say, let me take on all of this baggage for you. As a woman, you don't get to, what I'm saying, you don't get to just do that. You don't get, that's not how we're done. If you find somebody, great. But what I'm saying is you don't just get to do that. Like, you don't just get to say, well, I'm not going to entertain a guy that I probably really should be entertaining because he's probably more on my level. No, no, no. I'm going to shoot for the stars and I'm going to shoot for the guy that probably really is above where I'm at right now, or not, you know what I'm saying, on my same level. I'm not on his level, but however you want to say it. That's not the way it works, because there's some consequences that come with those choices and those actions that you made. We tell women this all the time, and it's true. I agree with that. There is consequences, right? So I just think that for me, on the flip side, same thing with men. Like, you were a part of this. You were a part of the chaos at one point. You were a part of the confusion at one point. You were a part of the disorder at one point. And now you're saying, but I'm not that way anymore. So I should get the pick of the litter.
Yeah. And I will tell you what, I
And
served
I'm
my
just
time.
saying it's disingenuous.
I know
I
it
don't
ain't.
really
No,
care
it
about
ain't.
the
I
why.
don't think.
I don't really care about the why.
But
It's disingenuous.
yeah, I give you an example. That's like somebody that's done been to prison. They done served their time. They don't get this type of free. They free now. They done served their time. Are you saying, well, just because you did that and just because you served your
There's
time,
going to be some
you still got
drawbacks
to
for
pay?
that person. It is.
And
There are going to
and
be some
and
limitations for that
and
person.
and in your example,
There is.
I don't think people should reach beyond what they qualify for. In your example, it might be a woman out there with 4 baby daddies. But if she's fine, if she's cooperative, she gonna get a man that's gonna take all them kids.
And like I said,
I
that
see it
could
every day. I see
happen.
women that
That could
divorce a man getting
happen.
it happens.
That could
So my
happen.
thing is,
We
you
missing a
shoot for
point
what you
though. It
qualify
still
for.
doesn't change. It still doesn't change the circumstances in which how we got here. That doesn't change it. Just because she's able to get a man to say, oh, okay, you fine, so I'll just do whatever. Like, that doesn't change the circumstances in which she got put in that situation. It doesn't change that.
Well,
It
she put
doesn't make it
herself in that shit.
better.
That's
It
like me.
doesn't make it better. It doesn't change that, right?
But
Like, it doesn't. It's
but
still, the
Chloe,
circumstances still
where's
are
the
what they are.
accountability that you're talking about? That's like me saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna provide for a woman no more because I had this one cheat on me and I had this one lie to me." No, that's who I am. That's who I am. So my thing is, baby, these people are fake. That's the problem. You think you can turn on masculinity and turn off femininity because it really ain't about the age. It's about your attitude and it's about
I feel like
you
this
know
week. That's not
and
what the point that I'm
and
making, though.
and the point is, it goes the same for women. Though I don't get your point.
You don't get my point
Women,
because you don't agree.
no,
It's not
no, no,
because what I'm
no.
saying don't
Women
make
have
sense.
always
It
wanted
makes
a
perfect
man
sense. You just
who
don't
had more
agree.
than them.
You
You
just
don't
don't
think
agree. And that's okay. But my point not changing. The point that I'm making is very valid. I'm asking for equal accountability on both sides. And
No, you're
asking for
not.
equal accountability, asking for accountability on both sides does make sense. It makes perfect sense. The problem is we can be very loud, very bold, and very proud about asking women to be accountable and hold themselves accountable. But when we start to have to try to have a conversation about men holding themselves accountable about their responsibilities and what they've done, then all of a sudden nobody understands what I'm saying. Y'all don't understand where I'm coming from. It don't make sense. Oh, well, men can do this and women can't. At the end of the day, you need to hold yourself, stand 10 toes down. Y'all always talking about how masculine and how much ego, how much arrogance you got. Stand 10 toes down. At the end of the day, some of you men have been y'all have been willing participants in the chaos and the confusion. Willing. Y'all talk about these women opening their legs, but y'all was right there. As soon as she opened her legs, you was right up in between them. But nobody wants to be held accountable for that part. They only want to say, well, she should have closed her legs. And I'm not saying she shouldn't have. I'm not saying that she should not have. But at the same time, if you only go with she should close her legs, then you never leave room for the fact that you should have some dick discipline. You don't leave room for that. You only want to say she should have closed her legs. And I'm done. I'm done with men sitting on these platforms talking about how women need to do this and women need to do that. Y'all know I'm the first one that will come to this platform and hold women accountable. I have done it show after show after night after night. We've been doing this for 5 years. But I'm not going to sit on this platform anymore and ask something of a woman that I'm not going to ask of a man. I'm not going to do it no more. So when y'all want to have some real conversations, when we talk about men and y'all actually show up to the show, instead of when we start talking about men, all of a sudden everybody get quiet. Don't nobody want to be in the comments. Don't nobody want to be on the show no more because we talking about men. But at the end of the day, the only way we fix this is if the women hold themselves accountable for what they have done. And if the men actually are willing to be genuine and say, guess what? I did participate in the foolishness. At some point in my life, I was a part of the problem. I did it. I did do that. And stop acting like just because you've changed today, that erases whatever you did in the past. It does not. It does not. And the only reason why, and ladies, this is to the ladies. If y'all wasn't so money hungry, if y'all wasn't so worried about a man being able to pay a bill, if y'all really was independent like y'all say y'all was, y'all wouldn't take that off a man. Y'all wouldn't let a man that you knew played up in the faces of other men come back, and now because he got a little coin, you willing to bend it over and spread it wide and drop it low because he got a little bit of coin, even though you knew he was on some foolishness. Yeah, that's to the ladies. So if you get with that guy, I hope he is reformed.
But I don't get your point.
I hope he is.
But,
I hope he is.
Coco,
because at the end of the day, we can't ask women to lift up a standard. We always asking women to lift up a standard for themselves. But we need to start asking men to lift up a standard for themselves too.
I am.
We need to be asking men to do that too. You don't get to tell a woman that she's... and I'm not saying either one of y'all have said this, but I have seen men that say this. You don't get to, and they've come on this platform too, you don't get to tell a woman that because she is a baby mama, she'll never deserve anything better. She'll never deserve anything better. And we've had men say that. Because she's a baby mama, because she got a high body count, or because she's did this, or because she's done that, she'll never deserve anything better. That's what we'll tell a woman. But then we'll tell a man, it doesn't matter because you're a man. So you can do whatever you want to do. And it's okay. Because as long as a woman wants your money, you're good. Don't worry about it. You can have zero morals. You could be morally depraved. But as long as you got a check, you got a bag, you okay. You all right. Don't worry about it. You always going to be able to find a woman. You always going to be able to find one. And ladies, that's y'all fault. That's y'all fault.
But Coco,
that's on y'all.
This is what I'm trying to say right here. Okay, let's spin this around. Let's say this is a 40-year-old woman. She might have 2 kids, whatever. My whole point was, why should I have to pick and suffer for something that I didn't create? That had nothing to do with me. That's what she chose. Now, if she want to say that my thing, it's not about what you want, it's what you can get. Now, if she's fit, feminine, fine, and she wants somebody to pay all her bills, or she wants somebody 6 foot, 6'6", If she can get it, then I don't see the problem with it. So tell her, oh well, since you done played in a man's face, you gotta settle for something that you don't want. That's what I don't understand. I want what I want, and I paid the cost to get. That's just like with a woman. If she give a man what he want, then she'll get what she wants. Now,
I think the problem is I might be in the comments and maybe on the panel. I might be talking to some of the men that did what I'm accusing them of doing right now. Because that's why y'all don't understand, huh? That why y'all don't understand? I'm being real
understand
tonight,
what? I
because the
mean,
boys is on.
my
Is
thing.
that
You
why
know
y'all
what?
don't
Ain't nobody
understand?
taking advantage of nobody.
Is that why y'all don't understand? Is that why y'all don't understand my point?
No, I don't understand your
Why
point
y'all don't
because
understand my point?
be-
Because I know that I
because
know how to
no,
articulate myself well.
because you setting the situation up like
I
somebody
know
is
how to articulate
using
myself
somebody.
well. If it ain't you, then I ain't talking about you. I'm not talking about you then. But some of y'all is fighting this point real hard. And it's got me wondering why.
You said the comment section, huh?
I'm trying to figure out why y'all fighting this point so hard. Why
Because
y'all
I'm
fighting
gonna
it?
tell you why. I'm gonna
Because
tell
you
you why.
know why I'm
I'm gonna tell you
making,
why.
you know I'm making sense.
Because
All I'm asking for is equal accountability. That has never not
that's
made
not equal
sense ever.
accountability. That's not
Ever, ever,
equal.
ever.
No, no, no.
All
You're
I'm
saying
asking for is
no.
for women to be held accountable and men. When I say equal, I mean for women to be held accountable for their stuff and for men to be held accountable for their. That's literally at the root of my point. That is where I come back to.
So if a
Men, y'all be
woman,
held
okay, let me ask
accountable.
you a question, Coco. Let me ask you a
That's
question.
it.
So if
But
a
all of a
woman,
sudden, people don't understand that.
so if a woman,
Why?
so if a woman is 45, she should accept a man that's 45 and not what she wants just because she might have a child or she might be a little bit overweight. So she should accept something that she doesn't qualify for if she can get something better. If she can get, if
That's
she can get,
that is what. Well, Vince, you probably don't think that way, but that is what the men that I am talking about. That is what they would say to that woman. That's exactly what they would tell
well,
her.
them type of men I
They
don't
would
deal with
tell
because that's some
her.
whole shit. Excuse my
They
language.
would
That's some
tell
whole
her
shit.
because of the choices that she's made, because of where she is, even because of her age. They would say, "Well, baby girl, your value is pretty low at this point." And we know they'll say these kinds of things. You 45, you done hit the wall, you done had a kid. They gonna start ticking the talking points off, tick, 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 tick. And by the time they're done, they're gonna say, and you expect a man to do what? And you expect this type of man to do what?
If she can get it, see that's the point. That's the point
But
where we
what
miss
I'm
it.
saying to
If she
you
can get
is
it, if that's what she's
they're going to discourage her from, they're going to discourage her from even feeling like she should be trying to get that type of man. She can
well,
compete.
well, in those type of
Because her
situations, it's
value,
you.
she's 45, Vince. Y'all value
Okay,
you. Don't say what it got to do with it. Don't do that. Because you've been very clear about how y'all value you.
well, if she looked like Nia Long at 45, that's something different.
So it's not youth that y'all value, it's
Well,
beauty.
she looks useful.
So
You
is
know,
it
at
Man, we
my age,
youthful or is it
you
beauty?
is youthful. And my thing is, and we are, and this is my point. I don't care what people want as long as they can get it. Now, I'm not gonna sit up here talking all this shit, and I got a 500-pound wife at the house that look like Norbit. That's the problem. You want these same women be 45, overweight, bad attitude, thinking they gonna get something, and then we know, nah, baby girl, you might need to just come on down off of that. But it's some women that can really get it. It's some women that got men lying around the block. They get divorced tomorrow. They can get another high value husband. I know a few women like that. They got two or three husbands, all of them six figures, all of them good fathers.
They
One
got
might
two
have
or three
died, one
husbands.
might have been. So they can. So it's women and men out there that just got it.
I just think that we
So that's all I'm saying. If you can get it, then I don't. But it's probably when you can't get it. I don't like men who downgrade women to make themselves look good. I don't do that. If you a bad bitch, you a bad bitch. Period. If you that dude, you that dude. I ain't gonna sit up here and hate because I'm not that dude. I'm gonna say you that dude. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was that dude. I'm not gonna sit up here and hate. If he wanted to be married, he probably could have gotten married to the woman that he wanted. He wasn't no weird guy. Oh, women should do this, and you know, well, I know why you saying that because you a nerd, you a square. So my thing is, if you that woman and you can get it, then get what you want. If you want a 6-figure guy who want to pay your bills, if you can get it, get it. Or you want an average guy, or you want a 50-50. It's all about what you want. And if I'm at a certain level and I can get what I want, I can get what I want. I got what I want.
No, I understand.
Put the
It
work
makes sense.
in.
Yeah, it
my
makes
opinion
sense.
hasn't changed. It is what it is.
Got you.
We, we don't care. Let me put y'all on mute for a minute. Oh man. Not just like I said, I was curious. I know we had to go there real quick before we got up out of here, but yeah, I was just curious. Because I'm like, at some point, I know the ladies got to be like, hold on, why these fellas always want these younger chicks? Like, why I can't get no hollers? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm up around his age. Why I got to have the attitude? Why I got to be uncooperative? And sometimes I just wonder, do the ladies be like, hey, maybe I need to make some adjustments. Maybe I need to make some changes. So that's what was really behind the question, right? But yeah, no, y'all both made some valid points. You know what I'm saying, in that dialogue. Listen, I think that was needed for the conversation, right? Because at the end of the day, we got to look at both sides. Yeah, we definitely got to look at both sides. We got to look at what the fellas doing. We got to look at what the ladies is doing. And if we really dissected that, it would explain why we have such hard times getting these relationships together, why we have such hard times keeping these relationships together. Shoot, man, why people struggling to get married? Like it's all wrapped up in there. Yes, in that mindset. I said, and that's key. And once we figure that out, I think a lot of this would change. But let me take some clothes, man. We're going to get on up out of here. I'm going to come across the top. Well, that's all we got is the top, and then we out of here. Coco, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this was a great topic. I love approaching it from the perspective of Black people because it opens up the opportunity for us to talk about both sides of things. I think we have a lot of conversations in this space, not just on this platform, just in the relationship space here on YouTube and on these platforms. We have a lot of conversations about women, and I'm more than ready to have that conversation. I'm more than ready to talk to my ladies. I'm more than ready to talk to the women. But I also think that if the men in our community are saying that they are leaders and that they're just waiting for the women to come back inside, I think we have to examine that, because why are you waiting for the women to do anything? Why would you, as a leader, be waiting for anyone to do anything, man or woman? And it just opens up the idea that perhaps our men need to take a look at the way they're moving within the community and make some adjustments, right? Like Quay, you asked, what do women need to do differently? There's some things that as women, we definitely need to do differently. I would like to see us as Black women prioritize our health more. We don't prioritize our health. And part of the reason why our men are saying, hey, we want you to look youthful. We want you to look healthy. We want you to look more fit. The reason why they're saying that is because it's a real problem. And I know we don't want to hear it, ladies, but it's the truth. It's a real problem. We are not prioritizing our health. The reason why some of us look older is because we're carrying additional weight. We are not, we're not eating well, so it's showing in our skin, it's showing in our hair. It's all connected, it's all tied. So men have valid gripes, right? But as women, we have gripes too. Like we can say that we've come across men in our past that have ran us up and through there. And, it didn't help. It didn't help our attitudes towards men. It hurt our attitudes towards men. It scarred us in some ways. Those bodies, we might have said to our homegirls, oh, he wasn't nothing. He wasn't nothing. But deep down, it bothered us. It bothered us. It did. And now we're in our 40s, and those same men that ran us up and through there are now looking back at us and saying we're not good enough. That's what they're saying to us now. And that's my point. That has been my point, and that will continue to be my point. We both have to look at what we have done to each other. And we have to hold ourselves accountable for that. And we can't make any more excuses, ladies. Can't make any more excuses. It is what it is. And men, y'all can't make no more excuses either. Because see, a lot of y'all are not at the levels that y'all think you are. You're grossly overvaluing yourself. Grossly overvaluing yourself. You not just higher value because you're older. Not if you ain't got nothing going on at your old age. You at your big old age and you still just working a basic job just like she is. But because you're older, somehow that makes you more valuable. Every man does not appreciate and value just because he gets older. I think I need us to kill that narrative. We need to kill the narrative that a man automatically appreciates and a man, what did Kevin used to say? A man doesn't hit his stride. Some of y'all in your 40s and 50s, y'all still ain't hit y'all stride. Let's be so for real. Let's please be so for real. But you walking around here talking about I can't date anybody. What? Like, let's be so for real. So I'm ready to have the conversation. I'm ready to tell women they need to do something different. I'm ready. But what y'all gonna say to the men? Because they need to do something different too. Are we gonna have that conversation? Or are we gonna keep coming on here every night talking about what women need to do? What we gonna do? Because this say black people are not marriage material. And from where I'm sitting, that's true. Men or women. Y'all ain't ready. The marriages ain't just not staying together because women won't stay. I understand the stats. And I'm not saying I discredit the stats. I don't discredit the stats. The stats are what they are. I can't argue with them. But it's real funny how we don't ever go, so the men just doing nothing? All these men are just great. They're great men. Great, amazing men. And all of the women have just lost their mind. All of them. So I'll land there because what I really want to see is us start having real genuine conversations. And that is going to involve men and women actually saying, my stuff stank too. Thanks. And if you're not ready to have that conversation, y'all wasting my time. Because I could be doing something else right now.
Okay. You gonna leave that like that? That's how you get in there? Okay. All right. Appreciate that closeout right there. Vince, it's on you, man.
Well, to answer the question, black people are not marriage material. I think it's a cultural thing. I think we haven't seen marriage. I think we've devalued marriage. But then I also think that you have to be able to always evolve as a person, always try to get better, always try to understand what the other person needs, not just what you think, but if you want to show value, you have to show value for what somebody else needs. And I think when we have this conversation about age or wisdom or whatever, it's about being a person of quality for the person that you want. And it's not just, well, And it's and I think that we all have to take accountability for what we've done. But I think that you can want what you want. Just like I said, I don't have no problem with people wanting what they want. It's can you get it? And if you can get it, then I'm gonna shut the fuck up. And if you can't get it, then it's a problem. Then maybe you need to change something. If you an old ass broad and you want a dude your age that's got a couple coins, then maybe you need to see, well, what do these men want? Okay, I might be this age, but I can get in shape. I can be a little bit more pleasant. I can be a little bit more cooperative. A dude, I want this type of woman. Well, what does she want? Well, she wants a provider. She wants a protector. She want a man that got a plan. It's got a real plan, not no dreams, not no pipe dreams. So if you come in with the qualifications, you got the three C's, and Quay, I know you know what the three C's is. Then you can get what you want. Cause you can't come with two of them C's, you got to come with all three. And when you come with all three, then you do got your pick of the litter because you qualified to get it. That's all I'm saying. If you might have had some some mishaps in the past, but you've worked on yourself, you worked on your attitude, you said, you know what? Yeah, these men was all in my legs, but I did open up my legs to those men. And I done took a few men down through there too. It ain't just men taking women down through there. It's women taking men down through there too. So it goes that way on both sides. But at the end of the day, you brush yourself off, you see what needs to be done, and you improve your resume. You don't come to a great job with an old resume. You might have to go back and get some training. You go back and get that training, then maybe you can get that job. That job you really want, not the job you settle for. So
That's real right there. That's real. That's real. Yeah. Black people, marriage material. Based on the current day mindset, I'm gonna say no. Can we change that? Yeah, we can. Yeah, going back to what I was saying about Todd, we got to start asking different questions. We got to start looking at different things. We got to get ourselves together. Yeah, that's one thing that we don't really talk about. A lot of folks ain't got themselves together. Yeah, folks out here doing a lot of talking. A lot of folks ain't got themselves together. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it starts with that mindset. Yep, and really looking at where your mindset is at. And are you a person that can be unselfish? You got to ask yourself that at some point. Can you be unselfish? Yep, can you look out for somebody else and be okay with that? Yep, if a lot of folks was honest with themselves, they can't. Yeah, they not okay looking out for somebody else. They not. So yeah, we got to keep it real, man. But yeah, can we be marriage material? I think we can. Yeah, but it starts with a mindset change, man, and you got to really decide if you're willing to make that change. Man, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Vince, man. Everybody was quiet tonight, running and hiding. It is what it is, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments as well, man. We appreciate y'all dropping comments all night.
So you know I love you. You still my girl. You know how we just have a conversation. That's all.
I love it. I
And I
love the
throw it
back
into
and
the sea
forth.
of forgetfulness, and we'll be back on this screen next week.
I know that's right. I love it because it's all love here.
Yes, ma'am. Of
It makes
course.
for a good show.
Yes.
Man, see everybody over here stoking the fire.
See,
Civil
if
over here.
Civil would have been on the panel, I would have been getting with him too. He was in them comments. See, you
I
was
think his wife
hiding.
is I think his wife is younger than him.
Probably.
Hey, hold
Probably.
on, Civil. Hold on, Civil.
Where
Answer
yet?
that.
Where
He
yet?
was in them
Is your wife
comments.
younger than you?
Probably.
Hold on, I need to know that. Civil, drop a comment. Is your wife younger than you, man? I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
We gonna find out. I'm gonna see if he dropped the comment quick enough. All right, let me get on some get us up out of here. Like I said, this is Kandid Konvos, man. We here every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you haven't already, smash that like button, man. Likes are free, man. Stop being stingy with them likes. Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button. I said, all my YouTube folks, turn on your notifications so you know when we drop content, man, and hit that share. Like I said, we want to get these great conversations out to as many of our people as possible, man. But let me say this real quick, then we out of here. There may be some newbies in the comments tonight. Maybe some newbies. I've seen some new names pop up tonight. Appreciate y'all checking in and dropping your comment. But let me say this. In order to get where we need to get, there's going to be some disagreements. Yeah, there's going to be some head bumps. There's going to be some correction. But that's how you get to where you have to get. Yeah, you absorb the message, you absorb the keys, and you make your adjustments, especially if you're trying to get somewhere or if somebody's trying to advise you on how to get to where you want to get. So yeah, man, I know a lot of folks out here be scared and running and this and that and all of that, but that ain't what this is, man. We gonna have a conversation. Like I said a million times before, we run from no topics. Yeah, we gonna have a conversation. Yeah, they can get a little heated. They can get a little direct. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you listen to the conversation and absorb the conversation, the gems and the keys that you need to walk away with are all up and through the conversation. Yeah, but you got to pay attention and you got to absorb, because all of the keys you need is in the conversations, and it's just that simple. Yep. So we don't get caught up in the tone. I know a lot of folks do that today. Oh, his tone, her tone, or his delivery, her delivery. We all too mature for that. Yep. Listen to the information. Yep. Get out your feelings and listen to the information. Yeah, that's how you have your breakthrough, and that's how you get to the next level. It's just that simple. But then once again, shout out to y'all, man. And like I said, we're gonna see y'all next week on the next one.